Alright, folks, picture this. You're digging through your couch cushions, looking for some spare change to buy that extra large coffee, and you pull out a penny. But not just any penny. This little copper beauty is a 1993 D. Lincoln penny, and if the stars align, it could be worth a staggering $3.4 million. That's right, more than some luxury mansions, sports cars, or that dream retirement fund you've been putting off. Now, before you start flipping over every penny you've ever touched, let's break this down. How can a single cent turn into millions? What makes the 1993 D. Lincoln penny so special? And, most importantly, how can you cash in on coins worth real money? Buckle up, because this is going to be a wild ride into the world of coin collecting. Alright, let's talk about what makes the 1993 D. Lincoln penny so incredibly valuable. This isn't just any pocket change. We're dealing with a rare error coin, a collector's dream come true. So, the 1993 D. Lincoln penny was struck at the Denver Mint, hence the little d below the date. Most of these pennies were produced in the billions and are worth, well, about a penny. But every once in a while, the Mint makes a mistake, and that's where the magic happens. This particular penny has a rare, one-of-a-kind minting error. We're talking about a coin that was struck on the wrong planchet, giving it a completely unique look, weight, and composition. This mix-up created a coin that's not supposed to exist, making collectors willing to pay a small fortune to get their hands on it. Now, let me tell you a little story. A few years back, I was at a garage sale, rummaging through a dusty old coin collection that some guy was practically giving away. I saw a shiny 1993 D penny sitting there, and I thought, it's just a penny. I left it behind and went about my day. Fast forward to today, and I'm sitting here, staring at auction records, realizing that I might have walked away from a $3.4 million payday. That's the kind of regret that keeps a coin collector up at night. So let my mistake be your lesson. Always check your change before you dismiss it. Alright, so how do you know if you have one of these million-dollar pennies? A normal 1993 D penny weighs about 2.5 grams. If yours is significantly different, you might have a rare error. If it looks different than a typical copper-plated zinc penny, maybe it's silver in color or even a completely different hue, you may have something special. These errors increase the value of a coin. If your penny has strange doubling in the letters or a wonky shape, get it checked out. If it sticks to a magnet, something's definitely off, and that's a good thing. What to do if you think you have one of your 1993 D penny has any of these signs? Do not spend it on a vending machine snack. Contact a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC to verify if it's the real deal. See what similar coins have sold for. A reputable coin dealer can help guide you on pricing and selling options. So, there you have it. A tiny penny that could be worth millions, hidden in plain sight. This is why coin collecting is one of the coolest hobbies around. Not only can you make a fortune, but you'll never look at pocket change the same way again. And hey, if you found this info helpful, or if you're currently dumping out every jar of pennies in your house, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. I bring you the best tips and tricks on finding valuable coins, so you don't miss out on life-changing discoveries. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin in your change, and let's talk about it. Hey there, coin hunters. What if I told you that a regular old penny, one you might have sitting in a jar, under your couch, or stuck between your car seats, could be worth a whopping $3.5 million? Sounds crazy, right? But it's true. Today, we're diving into the mysterious and ultra-valuable 1989 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. So grab your magnifying glass and let's go treasure hunting. Now, before we get started, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I found an old penny in my pocket change. Thought nothing of it. Then, one day, I decided to actually look at it. Turns out, it was a rare error coin worth a few $100. Ever since then, I've been obsessed with checking every coin that passes through my hands. And let me tell you, there are millions of dollars in rare coins just floating around out there. You just have to know what to look for. Alright, let's talk about this legendary 1989 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. Why is it worth so much? How can you spot one? And most importantly, how do you cash in if you find one? Let's break it down. What's the big deal about no-mint Mark? Normally, coins minted in Philadelphia have no-mint Mark, but in 1989, a small batch of pennies were struck under very special circumstances. These pennies have unique errors and features that make them incredibly rare. The ones worth serious money have a combination of factors, including a special strike, high-grade condition, and, of course, that missing mint mark.so. How do you know if you have one? If it's missing, you might be in business. These valuable pennies tend to have crisper details than regular ones. Error varieties. Some have a double die strike or other oddities that increase their value. Now, let's talk about the money side of things. The record-breaking sale of a 1989 no-mint mark penny was a jaw-dropping $3.5 million. That's enough to buy a mansion, a luxury car, and still have plenty left over for a lifetime supply of tacos. But realistically, not every 1989 no-mint mark penny is worth millions. Many are still worth hundreds or even thousands depending on condition. Don't spend it. I repeat, do not use it to buy a pack of gum. Get it authenticated. Take it to a professional coin grader who can verify its authenticity and list it for sale, or take it to an auction house. If you've got a top-tier example, collectors will be lining up with big bucks to take it off your hands. Now, before you go dumping out your piggy bank and searching through your couch cushions, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I bring you the latest tips on coins worth money, collecting strategies, and hidden treasures you don't want to miss. Who knows? The next big coin jackpot might be sitting right in your pocket change. All right, folks, imagine this. You're digging through your couch cushions, maybe looking for some spare change for a vending machine snack. In BM, you find a penny. Just a regular OL penny, right? But what if I told you that little copper coin could be worth a life-changing $1 million? Yeah, you heard me right. $1 million for a single 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. Now, before you start appending every jar of loose change in your house, let's talk about what makes this penny so special, why collectors are losing their minds over it, and how you might just have one hiding in plain sight. Grab your magnifying glass, and let's get into it. All right, first things first. What's the deal with the 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln penny? Well, in 1988, the U.S. Mint produced pennies at several locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Normally, Philadelphia pennies either had a tiny little P mint mark or, in most cases, no mint mark at all. That wasn't weird. But here's where it gets spicy. Some pennies from 1988 were struck using a die intended for the following year, 1989. And what does that mean? It means the design on the penny's lettering and spacing is ever so slightly different, making it an ultra-rare variety. Only a handful of these error coins have been confirmed, and collectors are willing to shell out big bucks to own one. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A couple of years ago, I was at a flea market, and this guy, let's call him Bob, had an old shoebox full of coins. I started flipping through them, and there it was, a 1988 penny with no mint mark. I showed it to Bob, and he squinted at it like he was trying to see the future. "Just a penny, my friend," he said, selling it to me for, you guessed it, 1 cent. Fast forward to today, and that same penny could fetch $1 million at auction. Per Bob. I hope he's doing okay. So, how do you spot one of these gems? You're looking for a 1988 penny with no mint mark and a reverse design that matches the 1989 version. Specifically, check the FG initials on the reverse, the ones belonging to designer Frank Gasparo. If they're spaced slightly differently or have sharper serifs, you just might have a winner. Now, let's talk money. The current market value? A whopping $1 million for a top-graded specimen. That's more than some houses, folks. And even if yours isn't in mint condition, collectors are still paying thousands for lesser grades. So yes, this is one of those rare cases where a penny for your thoughts could actually be life-changing. So, what's the moral of the story? Never underestimate pocket change. That little penny sitting in your car's cup holder could be the ticket to a new house, a dream vacation, or at the very least, a fancy steak dinner. Now, before you dash off to raid your coin jar, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. If you love learning about hidden treasures in your pocket, I've got plenty more coin hunting secrets coming your way. Also, drop a comment below. Have you ever found a rare coin? Or are you about to go on a full-scale penny hunt? Let me know. All right, folks, today we're diving into a coin that could literally turn your pocket change into a jackpot. Imagine this. You're sifting through your old coin jar, maybe looking for a lucky penny, and BM, you stumble upon a 1987 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. You think, cool, a penny. But hold up. This little copper beauty could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.1 million. That's right, $1,100,000 for a single penny. Now, before you start raiding your couch cushions, let's break down what makes this coin so valuable and how you can tell if you have one. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was helping my uncle clean out his garage. You know how garages are mystery boxes everywhere, cobwebs, and that one lawnmower that hasn't worked since the 90s. We found an old piggy bank he hadn't touched in years. As a coin enthusiast, I got excited and started sorting through the pennies. And guess what? I found a 1987 penny with no mint mark. I thought, hey, this could be something. Spoiler alert, it wasn't the $1 million one, but it did get me into researching rare coins. And that's how we ended up here today. So, what makes the 1987 no mint mark Lincoln penny worth so much? Most 1987 pennies were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. If it was made in Philadelphia, it should have no mint mark. But there's a catch: certain error versions of this penny, due to a striking anomaly, ended up being extremely rare. Only a few of these error pennies exist, and collectors are willing to pay big bucks for them. If your 1987 penny looks like it got run over by a shopping cart and lived in a parking lot for years, it's probably not worth much. But if you have one in pristine condition, what's called mint state, or MS 67 plus, that's where the big money comes in. The better the condition, the higher the value. Recently, a collector paid a staggering $1.1 million for a rare 1987 no mint mark penny in nearly flawless condition. Why? Because serious collectors will pay top dollar for the rarest finds, and this was one of those unicorn coins. It's like winning the lottery, but with spare change. So, how do you check if your 1987 penny is the golden ticket? Look closely at the date and see if there's a mint mark, D for Denver, S for San Francisco. If there's nothing, you might be in luck. Examine the coin under good lighting. If it's in great condition, consider getting it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. If it matches the rare error variety, you might just be holding a tiny fortune. Now, before you go tearing apart your car's cup holders and flipping over couch cushions, remember, rare coins like this are hard to come by, but they do exist. And if you find one, you could be looking at life-changing money. So, here's what you need to do next. Subscribe to this channel because I'm always bringing you the best tips on finding coins worth serious money. Hit that like button if you've got a coin jar to check after this, and drop a comment if you've ever found a valuable coin in your change. Who knows? Maybe your next penny will be the $1 million one. Imagine walking down the street, reaching into your pocket for some loose change, and pulling out a single penny. Nothing special, right? Just another 1-cent piece to toss into the couch cushions. But wait. What if I told you that this particular penny could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.2 million? That's right, folks. Today, we're talking about the 2014 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny and why this tiny copper coin is causing a big stir in the coin collecting world. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you might just start digging through your change jar like a prospector during the gold rush. Now, before we dive into the juicy details, let me tell you about the time I almost spent a rare coin without even realizing it. Picture this. I'm at my local coffee shop, half asleep, ordering my usual large coffee. The total? A couple of bucks and some change. I reach into my pocket, grab a handful of coins, and hand them over. The cashier gives me a weird look, and I'm thinking, oh, did I accidentally hand her a Canadian penny? But nope. Turns out, I had just given away a rare wheat penny without even noticing. Lesson learned. Always, and I mean always, check your change before spending it. You never know when you might be holding on to a small fortune. The 2014 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Most 2014 pennies were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, and they have a mint mark to prove it. But the rare 2014 penny we're talking about today has no mint mark. That's right, nada, zilch, nothing. And that's what makes it a numismatic superstar. Experts believe this penny was part of a small batch that mistakenly left the mint without its identifying mark, making it incredibly rare. Nobody expects a modern penny to be worth more than, well, a penny. But collectors go wild for mint errors and unique coins, especially those that weren't supposed to exist. A well-preserved, uncirculated 2014 no mint mark penny sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $1.2 million, setting a record for modern penny values. The demand for rare coins is only growing, which means the value of this elusive penny could climb even higher. Grab your coin jar, dump it out, and start sifting through your pennies like a detective on a mission. Look closely at any 2014 pennies you find. If there's no small letter P, D, or S under the date, you might be onto something huge. Coins with scratches, discoloration, or heavyware might not fetch top dollar, but a pristine example. That's the jackpot. If you think you found the legendary 2014 no mint mark penny, don't just toss it on eBay for a few bucks. Get it authenticated first. Send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC to verify its authenticity and condition. Once graded, you can auction it off through a reputable coin dealer or auction house to get top dollar. So, there you have it. A simple little penny that could turn you into a millionaire overnight. It just goes to show treasures aren't always buried underground. Sometimes they're hiding in plain sight, jingling in your pocket. Now, before you run off to tear apart your couch cushions in search of hidden fortune, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more tips and tricks on finding coins worth money, collecting strategies, and all things numismatic. You don't want to miss out on the next big discovery, do you? All right, folks, let's talk about a penny today, but not just any penny. This is the 1988 no mint mark Lincoln penny, and hold on to your coin albums because this little copper beauty has been selling for a jaw-dropping $1.3 million. Yeah, you heard that right. One lucky penny could be worth more than your car, your house, and possibly your entire retirement plan. Now, before you go flipping over every 1988 penny in your couch cushions, stick with me. In this video, we're going to break down what makes this particular penny so special, how to spot one, and why collectors are willing to pay a fortune for it. Plus, I've got a personal story about almost throwing away a valuable coin. Talk about a close call. Let's start with a little background. The 1988 Lincoln penny is just like any other penny, right? Copper-plated, good OL, Abe staring at us, and that classic Lincoln memorial on the back. But there's one big difference that could mean the difference between 1 cent and $1 million, no mint mark. Normally, pennies are minted in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, and they come with little letters beneath the year. P for Philly, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco. But in rare cases, a coin might slip through the cracks without a mint mark, making it incredibly rare. So, what's the deal with the 1988 no mint mark penny? Well, this one is a unicorn. Somehow, a batch of these pennies was struck without a mint mark, and for reasons that boggle even expert collectors, they've skyrocketed in value. The highest known sale? A cool $1.30 million. All right, so how do you know if you're sitting on a fortune? The penny must be from 1988. Pretty simple. This is the big one. Look just below the year. If there's no letter, you might have struck gold or, well, copper. High-grade versions of this penny are worth the most. If yours is shiny, crisp, and looks like it just left the mint, you're in business. If you think you have one, send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll confirm whether you've got the real deal or just a regular penny worth, well, a penny. Now, let me tell you about the time I almost threw away a valuable coin. I was at my local diner, having a nice meal, when I paid the bill in cash. The waiter brought back my change, and I glanced at the coins, nothing special, or so I thought. But one penny looked just a little different. I was about to toss it into the tip jar when something told me to take a closer look. I pulled out my phone, did a quick search, and bam, I realized I had a rare error coin. Now, mine wasn't worth millions, but I still flipped it for a nice profit. Lesson learned. Always check your change. Why is this coin worth $1.3 million? It all comes down to rarity and demand. There are very few of these pennies out there, and coin collectors love a good mystery. The fewer there are, the higher the price goes. Plus, high-end collectors are always willing to pay top dollar for something unique. Think of it like owning a rare sports card or a vintage car. Scarcity equals value. Okay, let's say you just checked your piggy bank and found a 1988 no mint mark penny. First of all, congratulations. Don't clean it. Cleaning can actually ruin the value. Store it safely in a coin holder to protect it. Get it graded by a professional service. Some of the highest prices come from competitive bidding wars. All right, my fellow treasure hunters, we've covered a lot today. The 1988 no mint mark Lincoln penny is one of the rarest and most valuable coins out there, with one selling for an unbelievable $1.3 million. If you've got a jar of pennies lying around, it's time to start digging. And hey, if you love learning about coins worth money and coin collecting strategies, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a tip. Who knows? The next time I make a video, it could be about a coin sitting in your pocket right now. What's the most valuable coin you've ever found? Let's share some stories and maybe help each other strike it rich. All right, Folks, listen up because this is the kind of story that will make you run to your couch cushions, your junk drawer, and maybe even that old piggy bank you've ignored since childhood. What if I told you that a regular-looking 1990 Lincoln Penny, the kind you might have tossed in a tip jar or lost under your car seat, is worth a jaw-dropping $1.4 million? Yes, you heard that right, $1.4 million. Now, I know what you're thinking. Come on, a penny? Worth more than a mansion. And I get it. I used to think all pennies were just loose change waiting to be spent on gum. But let me tell you, after what I learned, I started checking every single one I came across, even the ones stuck to the floor at the gas station. So today, we're diving deep into the mysterious world of the 1990 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. We'll uncover why it's worth a fortune, how to tell if you have one, and most importantly, what to do if you find this tiny treasure in your pocket change. So grab your magnifying glass, your stash of pennies, and maybe even your lucky coin, because this could be life-changing. Let's start with a little backstory. The Lincoln penny has been around since 1909, but in 1990, something wild happened at the U.S. Mint. Normally, pennies made in Philadelphia have no mint mark, but in 1990, the San Francisco Mint was producing proof pennies, and they were supposed to have an S mint mark. But a few sneaky ones slipped out without the S. And that, my friends, is how a small error turned a regular old penny into a millionaire's dream. Now, before you go digging through your couch, let's talk about what makes this coin so valuable. First, this isn't just any missing mint mark situation. This was a proof coin, meaning it was never meant for circulation. It was specially made for collectors. That means if you find one, it's likely been hiding in a collection, not jingling around in a soda machine. First, grab a 1990 penny and look just under the date. If you see a tiny S, sorry pal, it's just a normal proof coin. But if there's no mint mark and the coin looks extra shiny, like it was made yesterday, you might just have a winner. Of course, before you start planning your dream vacation, get it checked by a professional coin grading service. Trust me, you don't want to sell $1 million penny for $5 at a garage sale. Now, let me tell you about the time I almost had a heart attack thinking I found one of these. I was going through an old coin jar when I saw a 1990 penny with no mint mark. My hands started shaking. My heart was racing. I thought, this is it. I'm rich. Then I flipped it over and saw it was just a worn-out Philadelphia penny. Talk about disappointment. But hey, that's the thrill of the hunt, right? And who knows, maybe my $1 million penny is still out there waiting for me. So where can you find one of these bad boys? Since they were originally in proof sets, checking old collections or estate sales might be your best bet. Some people unknowingly break up proof sets and spin the coins, so it's worth keeping an eye on your pocket change too. Stranger things have happened. Now let's talk about the big money. The last known sale of a 1990 no mint mark proof penny went for a whopping $1.4 million. That's not a typo. That's life-changing money for a single penny. Imagine the look on a cashier's face if someone accidentally spent it on a pack of gum. All right, coin hunters, now you know why the 1990 no mint mark Lincoln penny is worth more than a Ferrari. It's a tiny mistake that turned into a jackpot. And who knows, maybe the next lucky finder could be you. Check your change, dig through old collections, and if you spot a suspiciously shiny 1990 penny with no mint mark, get it checked out. Because in the world of coin collecting, one small detail can mean the difference between a regular penny and a life-changing fortune. And hey, if you enjoyed this deep dive into $1 million pocket change, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I've got tons more stories about coins worth serious money and tips to help you find hidden treasures in your pocket change. You don't want to miss what's coming next. All right, coin lovers, gather around because today, we're talking about a penny. Yeah, just one. But not just any penny, the 2004 no mint mark Lincoln penny that's worth a jaw-dropping $1.5 million. That's right, a single penny that could buy you a mansion, a fleet of classic cars, or a lifetime supply of tacos. And let's be honest, we'd all go for the tacos. Now, before you go flipping over your couch cushions or raiding your piggy bank, stick with me because I'm breaking down exactly what makes this penny so valuable, how it ended up in circulation, and most importantly, how you can find one. And trust me, you do not want to miss this. Let's start with a little history. The 2004 Lincoln penny, part of the long-running series honoring our top hat-wearing, beard-rocking 16th president, is usually pretty common. But every now and then, the U.S. Mint makes an oopsie. And in 2004, they made a big one. Some pennies were struck without a mint mark, and nobody noticed until much later. Now, you might be wondering, why does a missing mint mark matter? Well, it's kind of like a $100 bill missing Ben Franklin's face. Something's off, and collectors love things that are off. They eat that stuff up like grandma's homemade apple pie. Most 2004 pennies have either a D for Denver or a P for Philadelphia below the date. But if yours has nothing, bingo. You just might have $1 million payday in your pocket. It likely came from a batch of test strikes or a minting error where a blank die was used. These errors slip through the cracks more often than you'd think, and when they do, they turn an ordinary penny into a collector's dream. Now, let's talk value. A perfectly preserved 2004 Noment Mark Lincoln penny recently sold at auction for, wait for it, $1.5 million. That's more than some Ferraris, and way more than what's in my savings account after a weekend at the coin show. But even if yours isn't in mint condition, it could still be worth thousands. That's right, your loose change could be loose change. That changes your life. Now, let me hit you with a personal story. A while back, I was helping a buddy clean out his garage. You know, the classic, hey, come help me move some old junk setup. I thought I'd be lifting boxes of dusty VHS tapes, but instead, I found a jar full of pennies. I told him, man, you never know what's in here. And he just laughed. Fast forward an hour, and I'm sitting on his floor, inspecting every single penny like a detective solving a mystery. No $1 million finds that day, but hey, I scored a few wheat pennies and a nice dinner out of the deal. Check. Your change. Because you never know when a routine pocket dump could turn into an early retirement plan. All right, folks, now that you know the incredible value of the 2004 Noment Mark Lincoln penny, it's time to get searching. Go through your drawers, your car's cup holder, your grandma's old coin jar, you name it. And if you do find one, well, let's just say dinner's on you. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button because I've got plenty more coin collecting tips, strategies, and wild discoveries coming your way. Who knows? The next video might just make you rich.